Welcome back, Sports Nation and my champions. And today we're going to shift our fantasy focus to the Denver Broncos. We're going to talk about that defense and Von Miller coming back, as well as Drew Lock and his potential replacement in Teddy Bridgewater. Let's get right to it. As far as the offensive side of the ball, we're going to start at quarterback like we normally do, and that's Drew Lock. He finished as quarterback 23 last year. A little under 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions on 13 total games played. He's going as, in the ESPN live draft, saying he's going as quarterback 125. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure if that's a typo or people are just totally overlooking him. But they also did that with his new free agent backup, Teddy Bridgewater, and he's going as quarterback 123. Again, that doesn't make any sense because you know one of them is going to have the starting gig. So I put that as questionable. I think if you want him, he's a fringe QB2. I personally don't want to have anything to do with him. It would have to be some kind of crazy quarterback league where I'm starting 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Otherwise, just stay away from this guy. The next guy I want to talk about is Melvin Gordon. Came over a couple years back. Finishes RB at 14 last year, and he's being drafted as running back 30, which I think that's pretty good value for him. I think at this point in his career, I think he's a solid RB2, kind of a middle of the road guy, anywhere from low to mid 20s, I would say. So you're getting pretty good value here for him, and especially if they make the quarterback change with Drew Lock, might even have more value. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's talk about a wide receiver, a guy who normally lines up in the slot, and that's Courtland Sutton. Now, I didn't put any stats for him fantasy-wise last year because it wouldn't be fair. He played one game, tore his ACL in his left knee, he was out for the season. The word is that he is 85%, and he feels he'll be good to go by training camp, so that's good news. And it looks like people are drafting him accordingly, right as a fringe late wide receiver 2, maybe early wide receiver 3, 75.4 ADP, and I think that's pretty fair. Now, as always, especially with anybody coming off an injury, we got to keep track of him, see how he does in training camp and preseason. So, but I think right now that's pretty fair value for him. The other guy is Jerry Jeudy, the rookie. Didn't have a big campaign. I think with Sutton going down, they kind of thrusted him into a starting role, and he just wasn't really ready for it. I think it's more mentally too. I think the route running's there. He had a lot of drops last year. He ended up wide receiver 45. They're drafting him as wide receiver 38, a little bump up. And again, I think that's fair given what happened, being thrust in that position. And he'll have a year under his belt as far as NFL experience. So let's go to the tight end. Noah Fant. This is a guy I was targeting last year. He ended up as tight end 8. And he's being drafted as tight end 10, 107 ADP. And I think that's fair for him. That's fair value. As long as he can stay healthy, you know, he gets a little dinged up here and there, kind of like most people did last year. You know, I think that's a byproduct of not having a full off season. So good talent guy, slightly under the radar on usually with people. So I think that's a good value for him. Then I want to talk about some sleepers here. And first of all, we're going to talk about Teddy Bridgewater coming in as a free agent here. I think they've kept Drew Lock long enough. He was cheap on the rookie contract, but he has never really panned out, to be honest. Bridgewater has shown flashes of being a solid, good quarterback. So my prediction is I think Drew Lock's going to be replaced by Bridgewater probably anywhere from the week 3 to week 5. And this would be a nice guy to stash. And same thing with the supporting cast here. And then I added Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler. And I would say that's mostly contingent on Courtland Sutton. If he's having some delays coming back from that knee injury, he can prop these two guys up as well. On the defensive side, the Broncos finished 22nd in fantasy last year. They're being drafted as the 8th best defense. Now, some of the talent that they have, Justin Simmons, he was franchise tagged, then turned around and signed a big 4-year, $61 million deal. This is a guy I was hoping would fall into free agency for the Raiders, but that just did not happen. Nick Chubb's going to come back. Shelby Harris is a pesky defensive end in a 3-4 type scheme. Kind of found a home here in Denver. He came back as well, re-signed. And then we have Von Miller. As we all know, Von Miller had that ankle injury, was out for the whole season. Going to be coming back. They did pick up his 5th-year option, but he is a free agent next year, and I think he's going to try to come back strong and try to get that one last good contract before he retires. But I'm kind of questioning this, mainly where the Broncos are being drafted 8th. Now, like I said, their best player was gone, but I really think that they're being drafted by name. This was a once great defense, the no-fly zone. They have got a couple free agent corners. They're okay. Darby and Fuller. No, I don't think they're really nothing to sneeze at. Definitely not from the no-fly zone days with Talib. So I think that a lot of people are drafting them by their name only, and I really don't think they're even going to be a top 12 defense this year. So again, I would avoid this defense and then take a close look at the offensive players and see how it shakes out in preseason. If you did enjoy this video, why not give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Put your comments in the section below. I read every single comment and I respond to just about every single comment as well. If you want to catch up to our 31 and 31 video series, click on these links right here. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, play like a champion.